Greetings and salutations to the Catholic faithful in the Diocese of Colorado Springs. In a recent blog post on my blog, The Catholic Wesleyan, entitled Exposing Frannie, New Age Teaching in the Diocese of Colorado Springs, I respond to a March 20th, 2016 article in the Gazette, a local newspaper of Colorado Springs, that does a brief overview of the ministry One Simple Voice, which is co-founded by Frannie Rose and Bishop Emeritus Richard Hannafin. And I will be going over their ministry. I will be doing an examination of their teachings. Now first, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and my qualifications regarding this matter. I'm a graduate from Nazarene Bible College. I majored in Bible and theology. I minored in biblical languages. I am presently a theology student at Holy Apostles College and Seminary. And I also am acquainted with those who are in the Diocese of Colorado Springs who are adamantly fighting against and speaking out against this particular ministry and its divisiveness among the Catholic faithful there. And I wanted to put together this series for you because I want you to see exactly what Catholic teaching is. Take a look at some of the things that she is saying and evaluate whether or not what she is teaching is authentically Catholic or even healthy teaching for a Catholic. One Simple Voice refers to itself as an interfaith ministry. So they're not exactly catering to just Catholics. In fact, Frannie Rose puts it this way, that religion is only a vehicle to God. And all religions, like different pieces of pie, come together in the middle, and they're a vehicle to God. And essentially a religious indifferent position that's essentially saying that the church which Christ founded, the perfect lawgiver had ordained, that church, that faith which the martyrs have strengthened with their blood, is just a vehicle. That's all that it is. And there could be any number of religions that serve as that exact same vehicle to this same God who has revealed himself through Jesus Christ. Now, obviously, there is something very different about her approach. And so this ministry, although it's styled interfaith, really does not involve itself with the Christian faith at all, let alone the teachings of the Catholic Church. If someone claims to be Catholic, you must adhere to all of the teachings of the Catholic Church. If you do not have your faith in the authority of the Church, then you are not Catholic. And if you have your faith in the authority of the Church, you're going to follow Church teaching. You're going to allow its tradition to feed the language of your theology and your teaching, particularly when it relates to spirituality and how we interact with God. So over the course of this series, we're going to be taking a look at and doing a comparative analysis. I want to start with what the Catholic teaching is and use this as a role of catechesis so that people can see what Catholic teaching is. Then we're going to look at some of the language that Frannie Rose uses through quotations from YouTube videos that may or may not be available today, through newsletters, her website, through various other means, brochures. And of those topics, I have a few right off the bat, which I will be covering in separate videos in this series. We're going to be talking about the creator-creature distinction. We're going to be talking about original sin and infinite potential. We're going to talk about divine illumination in Thomas Aquinas. We're going to talk about revelation in the language of theology. And we're going to talk about the role of the intellect in the discernment of spirits. I may do more topics, but those are the ones I'm committed to do at this time. So throughout this process, I ask you to listen with your heart, with the heart of the church, okay, listening to the voice of Christ through his church, and to keep your mind open, all right? And approach this with a properly formed conscience and a properly informed intellect. So throughout this process, I want you to really take to heart what is really going on. And I want you, once you come to realize that the language that's being used, the concepts that underlie that language, and the confusion that takes place, that blurs that distinction between New Age thinking and Catholic teaching. And I want you to, this is a call to action. So I ask Michael Bishop Sheridan to stand up and to approach this. No matter what the influence of Richard Hannafin has had in the Diocese of Colorado Springs, no matter what trust that people might have in him and his sponsoring of this ministry and being a co-founder, it is still heresy. We will love people. We will speak gently. We will speak with love and patience. But we will not love heresy. We will love people. And there are many in the Diocese of Colorado Springs who are greatly concerned and grieved over the continual allowance of this ministry. Now, with any ministry and with any particular religious outlook, they are free to speak. They are free to do whatever they want. But I implore you to speak against that which is not right, particularly when retreats are being held, Catholics are being invited, this ministry is being promoted, and these ideas are being propagated. So, once again, thank you for listening, and I hope that you enjoy this series.